What's going on, my fellow degenerates? I'm Florida Man Dan. With me, as always, is Big Brexit Dave and Man Like Clive.
No, I'm Little Clive now. I'm a SoundCloud rapper.
And this is the Degenerates Podcast. Today is November 6, 2019. It is the day after the Logan Paul KSI media workouts. But we're going to get right into that. First off, we just posted our first ever video the other day, and we got our first comment on it. And I would just like to discuss this for a moment. I hope the listening right now. I really hope this listening.
The commenter is a nonce.
Perfect timing.
Mark Stone is a rascal kitty fiddler.
Down there, and he looked like a. Alright.
If you can't tell that we don't give a shit if you're triggered, it would be helpful if you made sense when you're commenting, but as this guy made literally no sense whatsoever, we're not going to address any of his fucking points because there's no point. So
I'm just going to say thanks for watching the video.
Yeah, thanks for giving us that extra view.
I mean, we could have him on to discuss his viewpoints, but it'll be after the fight, so what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
Quite like having brain cells.
He would actually make me lose brain cells. Honestly, some of the shite he was saying.
Well, yeah. Mr. Stone, shout out to you. Thank you for being our first commenter. Hope you get to enjoy this podcast.
We'll try and be less biased.
And just one more thing. Just one more thing before we start. You're a nonce.
Yeah. So, guys, Logan Paul, KSI, media fight.
Media fight! Get the reporters on it.
Go on, Sky. On the zone.
Hey, you know what? It might be Joe Weller's chance to get back into the ring.
Oh, no, he wants no part of that. We all know he wants no part of that. Come on now.
Hey, Joe, if this catches on, me and you could be my first YouTube fight. Let's get on it.
Yeah, Joe Weller and True Geordie are sat there in their boxes listening to this shite, yeah.
Yep, they should be.
I mean, yeah.
They should be.
I mean, if he is, hi, Brian.
Yeah, we are class. We're coming for you, True Geordie.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, you know what?
5 subs. We're coming for you.
If this podcast catches on, I'm getting in the YouTube ring.
I think you assume that we give a shit.
Oh yeah, you two are going to be my trainers in it.
Oh, you're going to lose.
Nah, I'm class.
No. We are class.
We are class.
So, media workouts for yesterday. What are our thoughts, guys?
I think it was very interesting, personally. I think there were lots revealed by both fighters. I mean, KSI, I think, to me, revealed a lot more simply because, we haven't really seen anything of him. We saw that he has got quick hands. He's trying to adopt that defensive style. He did a little bit of that Philly shell, but there's no way he's applying that in the fight. Come on, let's be honest. It took Mayweather 20 fights to apply that shit. There's no way KSI learned it in 6 weeks. On the Logan side, I saw evidence of his fast hands. He actually had better movement than we saw in the first fight. But then again, he's not showing too much. And really, there's not much more that I can judge. Like, it's not going to drastically affect my opinion. I just think it's more confirmation of shit we've already seen.
Yeah, I agree with that. We knew that they were both going to come in fast. And they were both going to improve drastically as boxers in general. So that was not really a surprise. And we've already seen absolutely loads of what Logan's been doing because of his Snapchat and any of the videos he's uploaded to YouTube. So there was nothing really new from his camp, just sort of solidifying what we already knew.
Yeah, but I am getting increasingly more worried about his guard, though.
Yeah, I think everybody who watched the media workout should be worried about that as well. If you're planning on betting on him, Mark Stone.
Yeah.
Well, Mark Stone, you're really not going to like this, but KSI looked rapid last night.
Fair enough. Yeah, he actually did. I was very surprised. His hand speed has improved drastically since we last saw any significant footage of him training. I think people who hadn't done much research into how both KSI and Logan Paul actually could throw punches were a bit shocked last night. I think a lot of fans are kind of looking at this like they're disrespecting the sport and stuff. But it's clear to see both these guys are putting in the work. They both got some decent, technical boxing ability. And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens on Saturday.
It is going to be quite tough to take a lot away from the media workout, though, because both camps are going to be trying to hide a bunch of things. And it was mostly pads for both camps. And pad work it's just pad work. You can't really take much from it.
You can.
I try to say when JJ was throwing straight rights to the pads, you were saying, "Oh, he's just hitting the pads and then just standing there." That's not how it's going to be in the fight night because he's going to expect something back, whereas on pads, he doesn't expect anything back.
See, but what I noticed was when he hit the left-right combo, he actually took a half a step back as if like he were in the real fight. So he's learning to do this stuff, and it's noticeably becoming second nature to him. And
we were talking about this last night. Because we were all in the chat watching it together. And that half step back is a massive difference because, if you're getting punched to the body a lot, you're going to want to try and punch your way out of it. And you're going to try and do that with a hook, right? And as soon as JJ takes that half a step back, he's out of the range of that. So that's just decent,
I feel like come fight night, it might be a little bit more than half a step as well, because if he is trying to get right in close, just half a step isn't going to cut it.
No, and that's only assuming he'll throw one punch. No, he's probably going to throw two or three. So that half a step back, and he'll probably hop back to safe distance.
Yeah, and can I also point something out? I noticed how fucking powerful KSI is. That was not even full power hooks, and Jesus.
He's definitely turning those hooks, which isn't what he was doing when we last saw him throw those kind of things. He's actually focusing more on technique now rather than it was very obvious to see in the last fight that he wasn't really punching Logan, he was more slapping him.
Yeah.
Whereas this time, he's really concentrating on that technique. He's turning his whole body. He's putting his whole body behind it. Which, if I'm Logan, I'm watching now. I'm cautious about that. I'm wary of the power in those hooks.
Right, and it looks like he's actually been training to fight on the inside, because while he is hitting those rapid little uppercuts into the pads, and then the trainer would come around, throw a right. When KSI would duck, he actually kept his glove. This is a big thing I noticed. He kept his glove next to his chin so that you couldn't counter and parry it with a little bit of a left uppercut.
Yeah, but ultimately, if you're in Logan's camp, Logan is preparing him to fight on the inside. So I think I think at the end of the day, it's ultimately going to come down to who executes their game plan more. And this is where I think KSI and his team have the advantage, because in deep water, he's putting that kind of pressure under Logan. Is he going to have the that calmness, the lack of that nervous energy to focus on the game plan and keep throwing those kind of punches, the stuff he's been working on, or is he going to panic?
How much your trainer's going to play a role into this? How much is Jeff Mayweather versus Shannon Briggs going to play a role into this?
Psychologically, it's going to have quite a big role in it, because Jeff Mayweather he trained Shannon Briggs for his title and then took his title with the guy he trained next.
Right.
And for him to be training like Shannon Briggs' athlete's opponent, that's going to have played on Shannon Briggs' mind in the build-up to it.
I also think the trainers kind of amplified how each fighter is going to, what their main attack is going to be during the fight. I think Logan hired the best trainer he possibly could in terms of winning the fight in the first 2 rounds. I mean, 37 first-round knockouts. You can't argue that Shannon Briggs was a fucking monster.
Yeah.
But as soon as it got past those first 2 rounds, that's when Shannon really struggled in his career. Whereas you look on the other side, Jeff Mayweather, one of the best defensive coaches I've ever seen, if not the best. And also he taught Shannon Briggs to fucking win the world title, man. I mean, does Jeff have that psychological edge in terms of training over Shannon?
Yeah, and I think it is also important to realize, like, yes, Jeff Mayweather is a very good defensive coach, but Vidal is also incredible at, like, defense. If you watch his actual fights, his reactions are so fast, and he just knows, like, where to be and when to get out of the way of punches and put him in the best position to land the next punch.
Yeah, Vidal is a defensive fighter. Vidal fights with the mindset of defensive first. If Jeff's also a defensive coach, so it's very clear that the KSI camp are looking to concentrate on defense first rather than pushing on the offense and trying to finish this fight quickly. I think it's more humility from their point of view, because it shows that they recognize that Logan has the power to knock KSI out early.
I think at that weight category, everybody has the power to knock the opponent out. Connect with a strong punch.
Yeah.
So I feel like Logan will have been working on defense as well, because he'll have realized, if I get caught, I'm going down.
Yeah. But I think it's the greater emphasis on the KSI.
Well, plus Shannon Briggs is a bit of a nonce, so
Yeah.
he's just a
5 minutes.
he's really just a cunt. He proved that last night.
No,
he's just a.
Yeah.
What even happened last night? I watched it, and all I see is Shannon Briggs start kicking off at KSI's bodyguard and try and push him off the edge of the ring.
Big Boomba Steve.
Bumperclot Steve!
Like, I've got no idea why that happened. There was no audio to it. All you see is him push him.
Yeah, but Steve didn't move, bro. Like,
he tried.
That man is a mountain. That man bench presses cars. I mean, what the f*** are you talking about? All right, so if you watch the full video, what happened was KSI was just watching Logan Paul shadowbox and whatever.
Right.
And then Logan Paul came to him, and they were just having like a friendly chat, just besides the wanting to rip each other's heads off. And then Logan Paul walked away, and then Shannon started giving it to KSI, and then it was getting a bit heated. So Steve, who's KSI's bodyguard, came up and started protecting him and stuff, because that's his job. So then Shannon being the that he is, went at the biggest guy you could see, and that was, of course, Bumpercart Steve, because he's the size of a mountain. Pushed him, and obviously because he's a mountain, he didn't move, and then it all kicked off. Security came in. KSI was raging. He was pointing the shit.
You see him slap KSI's hand? Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know. I think the whole thing with Shannon for me is that he's obviously never going to get in the ring again. So he's trying to stay as relevant as he possibly could. And he was most relevant towards the end of his career, when basically he became a meme. I mean, nobody really knows him best for his boxing. They know him for trolling Klitschko.
Right.
So he's trying to keep himself in the limelight. And, he's done that obviously by training Logan Paul, arguably the biggest influencer in the world.
And very arguable.
Well,
No, it's not arguable.
It's not. He's arguably the biggest influence in the world. But in order to keep that profile that he's got, he needs to create the most controversial clips possible. And what better way to do it than try and get ahead of the guy that you're training to fight?
And he just starts shouting "Let's go, champ" all the time.
Oh,
Like, that's part of what he's doing.
he's just right. There's a lot of people in that Paul team that I just find Shannon's I've actually, after listening to that True Geordie podcast with Logan, I'm actually finding him less of a than I did.
Logan or
Logan?
Yeah, less of a, still a bit of a dick.
Yeah, obviously.
I think he's downgraded from status to dick status.
Yes. We've obviously slaughtered him on this first episode and on the Twitter, obviously. But for me, I think there was a clear example in that podcast that there's a separation between the Logan you see on camera and Logan that is, that actually exists. The Logan the f***ing person rather than Logan the entertainer.
I think also, talking about Logan's team, one person that I've always hated is that Mike guy, and after watching True Geordie podcast, I f***ing love him.
Oh, we all
Yeah, yeah.
Big up, Mike.
Mike's definitely listening.
If you ever happen to watch it, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we may have called you a dickhead our first episode, but you're one of us now. You're cool. You're sound.
Yeah.
But one thing we did all take away from that podcast as well is that Jake's still a nonce.
Oh, he's a f***ing nonce, isn't he? Jesus.
Yeah, no, he just looks like
This is...
He's wearing a grill for the nonce.
What?
What?
He's wearing a f***ing grill.
Oh,
Was he? No. No.
He's wearing a grill.
Say.
Funny.
I think we don't want to talk about Jake, obviously, because you don't want to give him any more attention than he's currently getting.
All right. Final word.
I think that's enough to summarize him for the day.
Yeah.
It's enough to summarize him for a year.
Nah, I'd like to call him a again tomorrow.
Okay. All right. I'll give you that. And when we go on our live stream on Saturday, we are definitely going to go in on him.
Oh my god.
He's going to get his
People
own 15-minute piece during the undercard.
People are not ready for this live stream. There is going to be a severe amount of degenerates going.
Oh, it's going to be scary.
Bad.
It's going to be scary because I can already tell you I'm going to be a little liquored up.
Oh, so am I.
Seriously, make sure to tune in, because that's going to be unreal.
Yeah, we're just... If we don't care what we say on this, imagine us live. I can't censor us live.
Unedited.
Yeah.
Unedited, uncensored, live. Degenerates Podcast, Episode 3. The live stream.
I think we're going to have it, just stream in the Discord chat, so we're just going to put some noncery in this Discord chat as well.
And we'll be talking and we'll still be typing in the chat just because why not? Yeah. Stop sending bald nods. Those who can't see it, he's in the fucking Discord chat.
No, I'll put in a photo just so they can see what I'm putting in the chat.
All right, come on. This is meant to be serious. Come on, guys.
Off.
This is one of
You spent 5 minutes calling Jake Paul a
You started calling him a
No, that was me.
Yeah, he started. I just finished it. I'm telling him to do it tomorrow.
Don't want to say too much because we do have our live stream on Saturday. So let's just get right into the final thoughts. Have our opinions changed at all? When's this going to end? What are we thinking?
For me, I think it's less one-sided now, having seen a bit more evidence that Logan can actually move around a bit. He's so static. He looks like he has some sort of boxing IQ. I, however, still think it's going to be KSI in 3. I think Logan's going to go balls to the wall in the first 2 rounds. KSI's going to fend him off. Logan will gas him out, and the opportunities will open themselves up to KSI round 3 still.
Yeah, I think I'm still in the same boat. I have seen quite a bit more. They're both fast, they're both powerful, but it's too hard to overlook the defensive camp in JJ's side. And I think he can get away first 2 rounds without getting hit too badly. Logan, no matter how much running he's done, I think the shot to the body will take its toll. You'll start to gas out, and he'll finish it.
I think the thing with people looking at KSI's defensive camp and stuff is that people are overlooking the amount of time he spent training with Jeff. I mean, he's only spent 5 weeks there.
6.
5-6 weeks there. And there's a lot of very technical defensive stuff that Jeff likes to train his fighters. So whether KSI got enough information in to really avoid those massive hits is another statement entirely. So we don't really know what kind of defense we're going to get from KSI. If it's the good type, if it's the good Jeff Mayweather type, then I think he'll win it, honestly.
So I want to change my prediction. I said initially KSI in 5 in the 5th because, Clive grilled me on that last episode. In the 5th, I'm going to shorten it. I'm going to bring it down to KSI in the 4th. Not out of disrespect to Logan because I think he really is dedicated to this, and I know he's not going to quit. Honestly, I respect him so much more after this past week since we've recorded our last episode. But I think that his heart is actually going to bring him down because he's going to keep fighting and keep taking shots, and slowly but surely his stamina and his legs are going to go out are going to go out from under him, and he'll hit a knee, he'll stand up, and his legs are just going to be way too wobbly. He's going to take one shot, and he'll try and stand up maybe 2 more times, and he'll be down for the 10.
Yeah, that is... you talked about that with Logan, but that's one thing I am probably most concerned about with KSI in terms of if I want him to win the fight, is that he's going to fight on the inside, right? So it's a higher chance of him getting hit than it is with Logan getting hit with anything meaningful around the head area. And if Logan's got enough power, is if it's a clean shot with those 10-ounce gloves and without those head guards, that it could
it's going to hurt so bad.
In that one punch. And
it's going to mess him up.
We know KSI's got that dog factor in him. We saw that in the last fight, but can he still imply those same techniques? Can he recover from a much harder hit in a much smaller glove without those head guards?
We do also have to realize that the height difference isn't actually as significant as people make it out to be. It is still quite a big thing, but it is 1 or 2 inches in terms of how big the difference is.
Yeah.
And if you look at a professional fight like the AJ and Ruiz fight, the difference in height there was huge, but the smaller man came out on top.
Yeah, and if we can go to the AJ Ruiz fight, Ruiz won that on the fact that AJ knocked him down, and instead of just curling up and just taking that punishment from AJ and losing the fight, he was just like, F it. It's that F it mentality. He started throwing with him, he started trading with him, and he got a lucky shot. He hit him behind the ear, and JJ never really recovered from that. Okay, so Saturday is when the fight goes down. All the talking's going to stop. All the rumors are going to stop, and we're going to finally see who is the better boxer. Now, on the Logan side, we have the fast hands. We have that fantastically quick jab, and we're going to see him try and use his newfound raw physical power to really dominate KSI in those early rounds and try and get an early finish. However, on the KSI side, he's employed the Mayweathers. He's got Vidal Riley, who's an expert in terms of defense, in terms of fighting on that defensive end. He's going to try and dodge those early barrage from Logan and really try and lengthen this fight out. And the longer the fight goes out, the longer it really favors KSI. And that's when he's going to look to finish him in the 4th or the 5th round. But that's just predictions, really. We don't know what's going to happen. This is cruiserweight, these are big punches, 10-ounce gloves, no head guards. Let's get it.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It's all unpredictable. And I, for one, am extremely excited to watch it.
I'm sure all of you are just as excited for this fight as we are on Saturday. Be sure to tune in to our live audio, I repeat, audio stream, because a video stream would be super illegal.
A small amount of illegal.
Just a little bit.
Slightly.
Small illegal.
Okay, fine. Slightly. Not super, but whatever. Again, we will be live audio streaming. We will have a video stream of the Discord during that, just so you guys can see the absolute degeneracy that goes on in our chat during every single podcast. So
And it's a bit mad. You're gonna see us calling Dan some very questionable things.
Oh yeah. If you like just listen to Florida Man Dan get abused, then
Tune in, 100% tune in. You'll love it. Mark Stone, tune in, you'll love it.
picture this: you're going to be watching the fight on mute. on your laptop screen, you're going to have the True Geordie live stream podcast, and you're going to have us just chatting away absolute degeneracy. Actually, you know what? You, Brian. No, you're going to be watching us.
Okay, yes, but we do love Brian.
Yeah, no, we like Brian, but
in this scenario, him.
Right. So, again, that is Saturday. Be sure to check the Twitter for updates regularly. We will have a more accurate idea of what time the live stream will be beginning. And
You're announced.
And closing statement, Jake Paul's a
all right, so with that being said, thanks for that, Clive, first of all. Be sure, like and subscribe. Follow the Twitter at DGenPod. Follow the Instagram at DGen_pod, right, Clive?
That's the handle, but the @ for Twitter is DGenPod.
Okay.
It's basically the one that's chatting a lot of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And also, be sure to follow Dave and myself. I'm Florida Man Dan 3. Dave is Big Brexit D. If you want to see some proper shite chatting, be sure to give those a follow.
I'll make one eventually. Will Clive, I'll make a SoundCloud as well. All of the music.
I can't wait for that. I just cannot wait for that.
What time are we doing the live stream, Dan?
I would expect 9:30, something in that range. Be sure to check the Twitter. Yes, Eastern Standard Time. I would be sure to check the Twitter for updates because that's where we're going to do most of our communicating with you guys. And also, if you guys do have any degenerate stories, be sure to tweet that at us, please.
Or comment.
Or comment, or
live stream.
Yeah, or direct message. Don't matter to us. But we're going to start doing a couple different segments here, and we want some content for, like, Tweets of the Week. So if you guys have any degenerate stories, be sure to tweet them at us. And that being said, hell, I don't know. Good night. Keep being fucking degenerates.
Don't die.
Barbara Stella.